Okay. You think you have everything right, and just you last possible second, you just gotta take a step back and realize, oh shit, no you don't. Things should be working fine now. Sorry about that. It's kind of one thing happened after another. It should be good now. Okay. Yeah, sorry about that, everybody. But anyway, hi, welcome to Cafe Autumn, where we don't care who you are as long as you're not a cunt. Today we're revisiting Persona 5, a game that, is pretty big with me, for better or worse. But it's a game that I wanted to take a look at. Now, when I said Persona 5, specifically, I'm not talking about Royal, I'm not talking about Strikers, I'm not even talking about Tactica. I'm talking about the original Persona 5. I've got a bit of a story around this, which, you know what, I'm just gonna get into after, I boot this up. But, yeah, it has been a while since I actually played this. Hopefully everything sounds fine. There it is. Can I just say, it has been how long since this game has come out? I don't care what anyone says, that opening trumps Royals. That opening trumps Colors Flies High. I don't care what anyone says. And it's not even just the music. Like, the visuals, the subtlety and everything, like, just everything about Wake Up, Get Up, Get Out There it has it so much better compared to Colors Flying High to me. I think that was, to be fair, I feel like that's the same with all the other openings, but that opening is particular. Alright, so I did mention I wanted to talk about something. Turn down the volume here. So, I gotta talk about this. So I have had this game since a few years ago. I think the last time I got an achievement, or at least the top one I got, was back in 2019. That's a long time. And truth be told, I didn't actually have this game on the PS4. I had it on the PS3. I actually got the my PS4 around. Yeah, it was 2020. Yeah, it was 2020 during the pandemic when I decided to cash in some of the checks I had from a couple of my jobs and buy a PS4. I don't regret it, but in doing so, one of the first games I bought was Persona 5 Royal. Now I have gone on record for criticizing Royal, and that being that my biggest complaint about it is that it felt very. Okay, why is it playing this again? Okay, well, you know what? Here, we're gonna talk here. So, yeah, my biggest complaint with Royal was that it just came out like too quick, essentially. Now, I own Persona 5 on PS3 and I own Persona 5 Royal on PS4. When I wanted to do this, I wanted to bust out my old PS3 and do it. However, the PS3 is unfucking streamable, and I don't really have the money to go and do trial and error to figure out what is the optimal way to try and get around their those hardwired, just built-in programs to prevent it from being streamed and casted. I don't got that kind of money, and I don't got that kind of time. I wanted to get this. So I went on to the PlayStation Store. As it turns out, for some reason, the game is $20, and the Ultimate Edition is, for some reason, still $90. I looked around on different websites, and I found this game for PS4 for like $10. I didn't want to, but I bought it just because I wanted to do this. And then I thought, you know what? You know what I want to do? Hey, Echo. I'm sort of going through the backstory of like talking about Persona 5, but basically to boil things down, wanted to do this. Oh, Red, you can't see shit. There you go. Right. So, what I wanted to do was I wanted to revisit this game. Had it on PS3, and I've gotten a fair deal with it. I didn't beat it entirely in terms of trophies and achievements, but I have beaten it a fair number of times. And but the PS3 is unfucking streamable, and like I said, I currently don't have like the means to work around it and everything. So I looked on different sites and everything. I found a copy of Persona 5 on the PS4 for $10, so I bought it there. And I was thinking, all right, so I remember very vividly Persona 5 actually coming with this neat feature where you could actually like have cross saves, where you could save a file as a network data, load it up on another version of the game, and you could be like, oh, cool, now I can continue my game.
Oh.
This is something that Royal doesn't do. This is what happens. So, on the PS3 version, I have pretty much all the DLC, if I recall. And it says selected data contains downloadable content that you do not have ownership rights to. Bull fucking shit, I do. So the game cannot be resumed. And I'm thinking, okay, I'll just go and re-download all the DLC, right? Go over to the PS4 store. I have to rebuy every single one of them.
Oh.
Yep. So
how much would that cost?
Too much. That's the answer. So yeah, I'm basically going through scratch on this. So yeah, like Like, the fact, like, what pisses me off most about this, too, is that because of 2020, Sony then decided, you know what, let's have backwards compatibility with PS4 games. And it's just like, oh, wow, that's really cool. If only we had that when, you know, you came out with the PS4 for PS3 titles. Then maybe a bunch of my titles, like, oh, I don't know, the original Persona 5, wouldn't be collecting dust on my shelf as I speak. But anyway.
There is a lot of DLC for this game.
Yeah, there is. Like, the full Ultimate Edition or whatever costs, like, $90.
Jeez.
Yeah.
$60 for all the costumes and the BMGs.
Yeah.
Oh my. Well, hey, you could get a free healing set.
Yeah, I downloaded the free stuff. Speaking of which, there was something I wanted to do in this. So, I think everybody who is a fan of Persona 5 is fully, like, used to the English voices. I wanted to take it a approach and go to the Japanese voices.
Fair.
Truth told, I have rarely ever heard the cast from Japan actually play these characters. And they have actually pretty loaded cast. Like, fucking Ryuji is played by Mamoru Miyano, the guy who is most notably famous for the one scene from Tokyo Ghoul with the dude getting off on a napkin. But yeah.
I mean, what difficulty would you even, like, start at? Because apparently there's, like, multiple difficulties for
Yeah.
Persona 5.
What I remember very vividly is that difficulty doesn't really matter in this game since Persona 5 pretty much, and all the difficulty does is just make you hit a little less and make enemies hit harder. That's kind of it.
Oh.
Yeah. And on top of that, this is OG Persona 5, where it has this neat little trick where on flu season you can just wait around for the Reaper and he will succumb to despair. So grinding is incredibly easy. Also, when I booted it up, I did say that ultimately I 100% believe, I don't care what anyone says, I 100% believe Wake Up, Get Out There is a better opening than Royals. And I will die on that hill. It was like in 2016, that animation still holds up.
I know they put, like, a lot of work into this.
Yeah. I know the studio behind this was Production IG who did the animation.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense. Their track record's very, very interesting.
Oh yeah. So I did a comparison to this when I first played Royal, but I took a look and the usage of coloring for this level in Royal is so much more is fairly more muted compared to how it was in OG. Like this is a lot more vibrant and a lot more colorful.
That actually is very common nowadays, where the remaster just usually looks a little bit worse than the original.
Yeah.
But, I don't know, it's a specific style thing. Sometimes people don't like these bright contrasting colors, sometimes they do. Like, some people don't like how Mortal Kombat 1 looks, just because it's very bright and visual.
I personally think if this is like the way you want to go about it, like the God, fucking Joker's voice sounds more deeper. I also think if this is the way you want to go about it, where it's just like you make where you just make like different levels and whatnot and platforms with just all these vibrant fluid colors, like full on go all out with it. Like
I mean, it makes the game look so much more vibrant.
yeah.
I also think it really does help, the style it goes for, because it feels like a comic book.
Yeah. And it's just like, looking at this compared to Royal is kind of like those videos where it's like someone's playing a horror game and then they just turn the brightness up so that they can be able to see everything. It's like, it still looks good, but it's just like, dude, there's a specific way this game was set up, and you kind of, you're degrading it a little.
It was a problem I had with, even some specific shooters of, like, their specific era. I think it was, like, I played Black Ops 2, I really liked it, it was just, like, bright and colorful. I play Ghosts, and it's like, oh my god, everything is faded, and it's really, really hard to see. So if you turn up the brightness, it makes the game so much worse.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, I don't have a great comparison.
It's fine. I like, what comes to mind for me personally is game probably pause because you're core Lexi. Joke's on you. This is live stream. What comes to mind, I think, are some of those remasters of like PS2 games where it's like the games look dated, but at the same time, there's also like with how they handled it, it feels very. It still feels very beautiful. And then the remaster comes out, and then it's just like the way they handle it with the lighting, the shading, and the use of effects. It's just ultimately makes it feel so.
I mean, you still get the same game, it's not like the OG.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, like, I still have that question, like, should I really buy Royal? Because I wanted to play it, like, on the old consoles.
Yeah, I will say this, like, I absolutely do think the original Persona 5 just has more replayability. Because Royal is literally just same story with an expansion DLC story that just kind of got shoehorned in. Because nothing about Royal really takes effect until the end of the original game. Like, there's some stuff added in between, but it's like, it doesn't really actually change the story. It's more like padding for filler. What the fuck did you think was gonna happen?
That's a lot of cops.
All these cops with guns, and not a single shot. Dear God, you could tell this is in Japan. Yeah, if this was the US, this guy would have gotten fucking hosed.
Oh yeah, they would have just kept saying, stop resisting. Stop resisting!
薬が効きすぎたか。起こせ。寝るな。まだわからないのか。無駄なんだよ。素直になれ。それともお注射もう一本行くか。あ、カメラが気になるか。まさか可視化法なのに期待してるのか。
What? No.
そこまでバカじゃないか。おかげで我々も精一杯働けるってわけだ。異謀に脅迫、名誉毀損、凶器準備集合罪。本当は殺しもだろう。
You're guilty you're guilty of robbery, manslaughter, possession of weapons, defamation. What do you have to say for yourself? The aristocrats.
No. Oh,
that's right. Okay, so in this, they actually added a free DLC where you could actually download a merciless mode. It doesn't really do much. The only thing it changes is that it was like the only time where I got to encounter what hostage situations were.
Oh. Yeah, see, you're playing on hard mode. You're not playing on baby mode.
No, this game like the back of my hand. I can take it. If I can, wait till we get to like the fucking first palace. There's one moment that Royal actually had to recorrect because it throws you straight into a fucking scene where you just get jumped. And you have to walk out of there without getting detected.
I watched my friend play a bit of Royal, and I saw him like rage at a few of those palaces.
The palaces in Royal really aren't all that difficult. If anything, they're a lot more easier. I think though, the most rage-inducing things are like some of the bosses.
Wait, you can just like put in a full name?
Yep.
Huh.
And this is this is like new age Persona, so they go by more I think they go by more Western traditional standards where it's like because previously with like Persona 3 they would be like, all right, so enter in your family name first and then your given name last. Because that's how the culture is, where it's just like instead of say Naruto Uzumaki, they would say Uzumaki Naruto. Yeah. Yeah, but
I just saw it as like very uncommon since most games will just say like, here's like 8 characters, that's your name.
Yeah.
And it's just like a first name. You don't get a last name.
Sorry, この先は
地検特捜部の新島です。
検察。何の用です？
いいから通して緊急です。被疑者にどうしても確かめたいことが。
新島さん、もうあんたに指揮権はないはずだ。それに
新島さえ検事ですか。
I do kind of have to give credit where it's like I like the approach where this game has gone, where it's less about it's kind of a whodunit, but more in the sense of less what, but more how this is accomplished. But at the same time, it kind of does away with a lot of the mystery by basically admitting essentially like the targets and everything. Like, oh yeah, this gym teacher we're going against, like, he may seem like a nice guy and everything. Cut to the present. Yeah, he was found guilty of abusing his students and sexual assault and even driving a suicide. It's just like, oh, huh. Kinda wish I would have figured that out as we went, but okay.
Yeah, I can say that.
何しろ奴の手口は不明なんだ。会って話すだけでも安全とは言えない。
わかりました。
Really, the original version they were going with the concept was that he was apparently living with her. Like, Sainijima was his caretaker. Which I think would have added more to this whole scenario, where it's like, yeah, I didn't realize you were the one gonna be doing this. I don't know. I guess it just wouldn't have worked out, but...
It's weird. Game development is just like a very quick process. Like it takes a lot of time, but I mean you have to really finalize a script.
Yeah.
So sometimes like you just have to change it last minute, or sometimes it's just like, do we really need that detail?
And then it's also like stuff where it's just like a kind of cool idea, but for like everything that you're doing, it's just like I don't know if this is. Like, some of the ideas they had for, I think, Morgana. Like, one of them was like, alright, so we're gonna have this mode of transportation be a sports car. But, hold on. We have, like, a full party of, like, at least 4 people. Sports car can at most fit only 2. How are we gonna be able to do this? And it was just like, huh. Alright, let's just go with a bus. And it's just like, alright, that works. I will say though, as much as I love, like, because this game, it was a 20th celebration to the series and everything, and you can tell, like, there's a lot, if you do your research, there's a lot of detail in it, and just callbacks and fan service to the game, but at the same time, like, the more I've gone through, the more I realize it just kind of feels like that's it. It feels like it's fan service with a lot of stuff. And the stuff that they do originally just kind of feels, I don't know, tacked on compared to the amount of fan service that's in this.
I mean, you still appreciate it and see it as its own thing.
Yeah.
It's just, yeah, the fan service. I can understand where it's like, once you kind of notice it, it takes the charm out of the game a bit.
Yeah. Like, you could still have this whole message around, yeah, how flawed Japanese society is towards a number of things. But, yeah, when you have, like, alright, well, we have these things called all-out attacks and negotiations, and just the first handful of students that you meet are gonna be your teammates. It's just like, this is kind of like everything that the other games have done.
That's a problem with, like, I would say a lot of mystery games in general, because it's like you have to quickly establish who your main characters are. So, you know, it usually just establishes them off the bat, or it will just, like, slowly introduce them. But I mean, like, you'll see them, and they stand out more than, like, any other character, so you kind of know who they are.
Yeah. I kind of feel like that's also just a problem with the JRPG genre in general, where it has this habit of just main character needs something or needs kind of people. Conveniently, as they're going along it, those same people come along. And it kind of feels like, I don't know, it could, like, some of this stuff could benefit from just, if nothing else, seeding in early that these people kind of exist and eventually you might meet them.
Yeah. Like, the only game I have a comparison to that to would probably be, like, the Judgment series,
Okay.
which was by the developers of Yakuza.
Okay.
Or you could even just say Yakuza 7, because that's also a turn-based RPG.
Yeah.
Where you just conveniently meet your next main characters.
Yeah.
And after you lose one of your characters at one part, you know, you just find another one. So it's like, ah. Perfect.
Yeah. And the fact that this game was delayed for so long is just like... Production IG really took their time with this one. Like... Because I think it was supposed to come out, what? I think like 2014, 20... It was like in 2014 or whatnot, and it just kept getting delayed more and more. I think initially it was just because they had a new engine they were testing out, but at the same time, it's just like... That extra time, I feel, really helped flesh out a lot of these visuals.
First announced in 2013, it was originally delayed from its original late 2014 release date.
Yeah.
Being unfinished. Oof.
A game being delayed and wanting to be perfected due to it being unfinished and everything, gee, wouldn't know what that's like nowadays.
Like, oh my god. The only game, well, the few games I've played recently to experience that is like Mortal Kombat 1. It was fun, but it was super unfinished at launch.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it lacks so much content. If the game was released now, maybe it would get a lot more praise. Maybe.
Yeah.
I mean, hell, that's why people love Elden Ring. It was just one of the few games that just released exactly how they wanted it to.
Yeah. And the same way I also would say, like, same with games like Hi-Fi Rush.
It doesn't need to be, like, the best game ever made. It
Yeah.
just needs to be fleshed out enough.
Yeah.
And it's
Like-
sad that Tango Gameworks is now closed.
Yeah. I mean, they have been picked up by the, I think either the developers or the publishers of PUBG and everything. So there's that, but at the same time, it's just like, what does that mean for the future of this game? That's the question. I do kind of like that you can tell in this engine, sort of where they had limitations and where they played to the strengths. Like this whole cafe, it doesn't have a three-dimensional view setting or anything. Because like in like Persona 3, like you could have a full 360-degree turn view of the entire dorm, but in this you only get like this particular viewpoint of the actual like cafe, which makes me believe that everything behind the camera isn't even made. In its own way, that's kind of like a play.
Yeah, I can see that.
コーヒー一杯で4時間かよ。お前が。桜宗次郎だ。
Well, it's better than, I would just say, like the Yakuza games where you just, like, see, like, one character's static pose, and they just switch the camera back from each character all the time.
Oh yeah, those cutscenes.
Yeah, I mean, it's funny,
But
at the same time, it gets annoying.
It's... I mean, on one hand, I guess that whoever's doing, like, whoever's doing the rigging for that, it's gotta, like, that's gotta be one of their easiest jobs. It's just like, what department are you in for Yakuza? Oh, I'm in the guys with the, stilted animation. Oh, that's crazy. I'm in the guys that have to make Majima dance on a stripper pole.
They just have an entire department just to animate that one sequence.
Right?
That would be hilarious. I'm in the Majima department. I mean, to be fair, I would want to work on the Majima department.
Right. It's like it's like the thing was just like I wanted to go into video game animation, but all they got me working on is cloud. It's like, dude, that's crazy. I'm in the video game department and the rigging department, and what they have me working on is just boob physics. They have an entire department just specifically for girls' boob physics.
I mean, I told the department that it's like, listen, we need to make sure we have to sell this game. We can't get it age restricted. But they're like, nah, we need this. We need this. And it's just for a visual novel.
You gotta tickle their balls more.
保護観察期間だよ。来年の春までだったよな。だから1年の約束なんだろ。
I do have to admit, it's interesting to see like the disconnect between the cultures, because a lot of people who look at this introduction with like Sakura and the main character realize, oh wow, he's kind of an asshole, when they realize that no, this is just kind of a part of the society. It's just like, yeah, you try to stop a guy from assaulting a woman, he got injured and assaulted you, right? And it's just like, yeah, that's just kind of how Japanese society is. Just don't go causing trouble. It's all about more so the idea of conformism and everything. You act out and everything, despite if you think it's right or wrong, whether or not you think it's right or wrong. It's just like you might end up getting the one being punished for it.
Oh, yeah. You never want to just like say that it's like, oh well, I should always like stop this, or I should always like try to be a part of it, because if you're always a part of it too much, well, you just do more damage.
Yeah. Sometimes it's a big thing, and on top of that, it's also like, yeah, if you end up being a part of this, you can make the people who are in the wrong more so look like the victims. Which is a problem in and of itself.
Yeah. Like, if you're just trying to help out a friend, but you don't understand, like, the victim's points, then you could just, like, completely misinterpret what has happened, and, yeah, then you have, like, more fiascos you have to deal with.
Yeah. Yeah, that's another thing I don't really like about this game, is that, like, they say, yeah, your time is important, make sure you, like, carefully considering everything. Meanwhile, hey, we're gonna put, like, everything you can possibly do and make sure and we want you to drive to actually do everything you can in less than a year or so. Like, from now till Christmas, we want to make sure that you do everything. And it wouldn't be much of an issue if it was actually, like, you know, easy and manageable to do, but no, they basically want you to play this game more than once is the thing. But it feels sort of kind of gaslighty to me, where it's just like the game entirely acts like, you know, you're supposed to be doing everything in one go. But with the way it's handled, it's just like, no, we want you to continue playing it.
Which is a lot to ask, since most of the time people well, half the players usually complete the game, and then they kind of move on.
Yeah. I don't know, maybe I kind of feel like this game, I wonder how this game would benefit without sort of like, I don't know, having the same kind of story and setup and everything, just remove the calendar aspect. Like just having like morning, afternoon, evening thing, and having that be fine, but just removing like a set deadline or anything.
It might work, but maybe it just helps like some players just feel like it gives them some sort of motivation. Just because it's like, oh shit, I have limited time, so I have to like make sure I get to everything.
Yeah, I feel like in games like Persona 3 and 4, where it's just like there really wasn't much else to do outside of the main story, which for that was, hey, let's go through these dungeons. In this is like, we have several different dungeons. We also have this one major dungeon that you also have to keep up with, because by the end of the game, you're gonna have to go through the end of that dungeon and then deal with all of the enemies in that, and another smaller dungeon inside that one. It's just like doing too much at once, essentially, is the problem of this game.
It packs so much content and it wants the player to kind of interact with all of it, and yeah. Yeah, that's always a problem.
Yeah.
ようこそ私のベルベットルームへ。
So around this time, like this was 2014, but I believe it was in 2011. The original actor for Igor, Isamu Tanaka, had died.
Oh.
Yeah, and with Japanese culture, they're very respectful about voice acting. So, with how they play the story and everything, him actually having a different voice actor, especially one with such a contrast in a voice, plays into sort of like what they were trying to do, and I think that's a really great take.
何かの形で契約を結んだ者のみが訪れる部屋。私は主を務めている。
Also, yeah, in the Japanese, he sounds fucking evil.
お前を呼び出したのは他でもない。
I'd be like, dude, who the fuck are you? Where in the English, it's just David Lodge, like, with just sort of like the deepest Kenpachi voice, and it's just like, oh, okay.
しかしこれは驚いた。
Like, it's just an interesting change for the actor, but at the same time, it's just like, in this, you can definitely tell there's like, okay, if this dude was actually like the villain at the end of the story, it's like, yeah, I fucking believe it.
文字通り全ての終わりのことだ。しかし抗う術がないわけではない。構成するのだ。自由への構成。 それがお前が破滅を回避する唯一の道。世界の歪みに挑む覚悟はあるかね。断らなかったな。結構、それで十分だ。お前の構成の奇跡、拝見させてもらうとしよう。ああ、紹介が遅れてしまったな。右がカロリーヌ、左がジュスティーヌ。 共に監視を務めている。
せいぜい無駄にあがくがいい。監視とは元来囚人を守る職務。私たちもまた。
You combine the layers on top of their hats, it spells out oxymoron.
この者らの役割についてはいずれの機会でいいだろう。さて、夜も更けてきたようだ。次期国言。ここのことは少しずつ理解してくれればいい。 いずれまた会うことになるだろうからね。
さあ時間だ。おとなしく眠りに戻るがいい。
Oh, I would be concerned if I've ever had that dream.
For some reason, like, I just immediately thought of fucking Venture Brothers because of that. The scene where it's just like Monarch and King Gorilla. It's like, what the fuck? It's just like, well, I mean, you sounded like a girl, so I just kind of got me. Wait, did you bring me back to your place? Well, I got porn here. It helps.
よさてたく頼むからおとなしくしとけよ。お前がどうなろうと知ったこっちゃねえけどよ。俺に迷惑だけはかけるな。改めて伝えておくが、
It's an interesting choice for the fucking principal.
正直、君のような人間を受け入れるか迷ったんだ
Why you say
が。
that?
His face does not match the voice.
地元じゃ隠れていろいろやれたのかもしれないが。
He sounds like Frankie from One Piece.
うちを追い出されたら行く場所はないぞ。肝に銘じておけ。こちらが担任の川上先生だ。
川上貞代です。
Sometimes people are just like that though. Their faces just do not match their voices.
校則よく読んでおきなさい。少しでも違反したら指導室よ。それから君が問題を起こしても私は一切かばえません。そういう約束ですよね、校長先生。
うん。すべては彼の責任だ。
でも本当にどうして私が？他に適任がいたはずですけど。
急な天候でね、空きがあったのが君のクラスしか。説明終わったならもういいですかね。店開けてきてるもんで。さくらさん、注意して見ていてくださいよ。外でトラブル起こさないように。ま、自分がどんな立場かはきつく言って聞かせますよ。
明日登校したら職員室に来なさい。教室まで案内するから。
I do like that pretty much for the first part of this entire game, like they set up everything really well, like just the introduction of the characters, the story, just like everything behind this all really feels well thought out. And then I would say middle to late game is when it really starts falling apart.
男の先生の方が適任ですよ。
なんであんなの編入させたんですかね。
That's the problem when you really have to drag out a story.
Yeah, but I think inadvertently it feels like they had this. The idea was like really strongest when they were starting, and then as time went on, it was just like it started to become clear. Oh shit, our game is not long enough. And then like what they were doing wasn't bad, but it felt very much like, I guess like you said, drag it out, but also in the sense of like, we do have to like fill in the pieces of, we need to get from point A to point B.
Which is the hardest thing to do.
Yeah. I think it's sort of the blessing and the curse of having so many people on staffing working on this. It's just like you have a lot of ideas to bounce around. You have so many ideas, but then you end up realizing, oh, we have too many ideas.
Well, that and also, like, all the characters you meet all interacting at once. You have to, like, think of every single person interacting, a dialogue for each of them, so it's like none is left out. And it's like, oh my god, and it becomes a challenge in itself.
This is
That's
why
it's like I really respect them.
Yeah, this is why I feel like I think Persona 3 personally did it better because, yeah, the characters interacted, but they also interacted outside of you specifically. So there was no need to throw everything at you. Like, the game sort of just went on its own way with or without you.
頼まれてなんとなく承諾しちまったんだよな。金だってもらっちまってたし。
繰り返しお伝えします。渋谷駅地下鉄ホームで起きた脱線事故の影響で周辺ダイヤに大幅な乱れが。
また事故かよ。本殿のそれのせいか。多いな最近。
まもなく1番線に下り方面行き普通電車が参ります。黄色い線。
Damn, there was a lot of animations.
Yeah.
Did not expect this many of them.
There is, I believe, 2, 3 more animated sequences.
Oh,
下り線車両異常を確認中です。
入港確認まだです。
I do like the in the English, the dude who's at the station is like, I don't have visual yet. Oh fuck!
なぜ過剰にスピードを出したのか自分でもわからないなどと答えており、詳しい動機の解明が急がれます。
運転事故というより会社と国の罪だな。現場係は
Surprisingly, nobody actually died in this. That entire accident, they report, I think nobody actually died. Many people were injured, but nobody, I think, died.
damn. See, no wonder why the cops don't use guns. It's just like their universe just doesn't need it. Half the time problems are just like, no one died yet. We're probably fine.
つながりがあるとでも言いたそうだな。まあいい。どうだ、久しぶりに一杯付き合わんか。
すみません、仕事で先約が。失礼します。
I mean, like, what was this game rated? Like T for teen?
It was rated M for mature.
What? Really?
Yep.
Oh my god.
Yeah, and you think with that they could go further? Like, oh, I don't know, because here's... Okay, also, highlight Yagami. But, because here's the thing, it's just like, they go with a really complicated, morally gray and nuanced story, but they go at it with a black and white perspective. It's just like, with a game that's rated M for mature, you really feel like maybe going more at it with a mature look at things, probably a better way to go. There's actually surprisingly little... There's actually surprisingly little mature content in this, outside of, like, some character designs. And that's kinda it. I mean, there is some depth, but it's very few in between. Because the whole thing of, like, oh yeah, you're be able to, like, kill people or whatnot, they resort to, nah, they're just, like, demons.
Huh.
It's one of those things where it's just, like, I feel a game that wants to feel, like, artistic and deep sort of works against it in this regard. Because I feel 100% that this game would have been more beneficial as, like, a rated T for teen game.
Yeah, because, like, that's how I see it. I mean, I understand, like, age ratings pretty much don't apply to us, since we can buy pretty much any game we want.
Yeah.
But still, I mean, I guess it's just surprising.
Like, like, this game is in the same ESRB rating as God of War.
That is just, like, really hard to grasp.
Right?
Grasp for me. Like, how is this on the same level as Doom Eternal?
How is this on the same level as Dante's Inferno?
The jokes just write themselves.
Yeah.
The first option you get is this a prank call?
Is this a prank call? Which apparently that is a thing in Japan where someone says, "Hey, it's me." That's apparently a prank call thing.
Wow. Did not know that.
But anytime I see that, I just think it's just a, "Hey, it's me, Goku."
You just get like a million people who are just really good at this, and it's like, dang, I can't tell if this is Goku or not.
Yeah, I say it. Like, looks like a lot of people were hurt. They never really specify. Oh, there was a death toll, or it's like a lot of people ended up losing their lives in that. It's like, nah, a lot of people were hurt.
Like, there's not a lot of swearing in Persona 5, is there?
No, there really isn't. Like,
Yeah,
the most they will say is just like shit or bitch or asshole. They rarely have a character say fuck.
Like, I understand those like that language probably wouldn't fly for teen, but I mean, still though.
Yeah, M for sure. I feel like, dude, like Black Lagoon got away with so much of its dialogue. I feel like you could absolutely go full on, like just Sailor with this.
Like, I mean, we have a PG-13 rating for like movies. Why can't we have that for like games? It's just like teens or adults.
Yeah, but
That's
even
it,
but
no in
even
between.
but even then, you also have the problem of like every film that should be like rated R or be more graphic is a PG-13.
Yeah, that's true. Also, PG-13 films apparently have way more violence than R-rated films.
Yep.
Which, I mean, yeah, that checks out.
Now I think like films just actually have to go out of their way to fight if they want to be rated R. But even then, you have like what was it, like it was one of the South Park films that was like back when NC-17 was a thing. Like you had a total of insert number of swear words here, and I think the story was they didn't get an NC-17 because they deliberately went one swear word shy away from getting that. So,
yep, it was 399 swear words. If they did one more, they would have got it.
And that film is so goddamn. Oh my god, it's just wow.
I'm still gonna watch it at some point. I hear so much about it that I'm like, ugh,
yeah, it's actually really, really good. There we go. It does feel a slight bit like this game is like, yeah, you should know, you should be fully aware of, like, Japan's, cartography. Because that moment is very much a case of, like, you know the mapping and where to go. Thankfully, they do have like NPCs who tell you where to go, but it does feel like, you know, there's no like real heads-up display or a waypoint or anything. No, you just gotta you just gotta head to point here without really any indication of where. Not really.
Yeah, I got lost a few times when I was playing Yakuza, because it's like, wow, you're in a small environment. Where in this small environment, please? Because I mean, it's still pretty large.
っていうか、ちょっと不気味だよね。事故や事件を起こした人、なんか突然おかしくなったらしいじゃない。取り調べ中にぶっ倒れて廃人になった人もいるとかってさ。へえ。
Oh my god, they're clipping into each other.
I do like that they got away with that by just making every single fucking civilian just transparent and ghost.
It works.
Ohayo. 学校まで送ろうか。遅刻するぞ。
ありがとうございます。
おっと君もか。ああ。
Bit of stranger danger.
Funny thing is, you're not wrong.
Oh no!
Yep. Oh, and you're about to find out why, too. I'm actually surprised you've never really, like... This game is popular, and I'm surprised you haven't really, like, don't know too much about it, honestly.
Well, I try to keep myself, like... I try to, like, go in blind with most games, because once I hear spoilers, it's like, it's ruined. I've seen, like, occasionally here and there, but it's like, I don't know too much on what's happening. And I want to try to remain that way as much as I can.
That's fine.
つうかよ、鴨志田知らねえとか、マジで言ってっか？お前囚人だよな。
I'm not sure how I feel about Ryuji's voice here.
You're not seeing it?
他にねえだろこの制服。2年か。ダメかよ。見ねえ顔だな。
No, it sounds very soft-spoken, that's the thing.
もしかして転校生か。
I don't know.
I think it works.
I do think so, but it's just like I'm so used to Max Middleman.
Oh, I see. Well that's not good.
Yeah, so about spoilers, yeah, don't worry. This game spoils everything for you before you even know it.
巷で精神暴走事件なんて呼ばれてる騒ぎ知ってるわね。他人事って口ぶりね。ニュースでも取り上げられたし、犠牲者には君の高校の保護者もいた。耳に入ってきたはずよ。あの日、君はまだ単なる学生だったの？ 質問を変えましょう。転入先は囚人学園だったわよね。都内じゃどこにでもある平凡な進学校、そのはずだった。あの頃一体何があったの？
I do have a question though for you. How do you feel about like getting to choose what dialogue options you are given? Do you see it as like annoying, or do you like see it as it's fine?
Specifically for games like these, it feels pointless because it is just the illusion of choice. It's like, yeah, sure, maybe you get like an interesting dialogue interaction, or maybe there's a different scene that comes up, but overall it's just pointless. But in games or media where it's just like actual dialogue affects how you play and everything, kind of like what Telltale's games did, like, I'm fine with it. I think the most recent example I can think of is Slay the Princess, which is a choose-your-own-adventure game, but it's very good at what it does. Supposedly, I think it's modeled after a love hotel. Or a particular aesthetic of a love hotel.
Oh, that's interesting. After about an hour of waiting, we get to another gameplay section.
おかしいな、学校が。いや、学校のはず。県外どこ来ちまったんだ。看板学校のだったよな。だろ？お前も見たよな。ビビらせんなよ。誰だお前？生徒なのか？つーか、かっこすげえな。鎧本物か？黙ってねえでなんとか言えよ。お前。おい、なんだよ。
Is this school staff?
だから俺もわかんねえよ。
Oh yeah, that totally seems like school staff right there.
落ち着けって。タイム。逃げるぞ。こいつらはやべえ。行け。くそおい。なんなんだよこいつら。
I like how it's like, oh well, one, you know that's not really that bad. Two, oh no, they're ganging up on us.
おい、起きろ。おい。大丈夫か？そうか。どうやら夢ってわけじゃねえようだな。くそ、なんなんだこれ。おい、出しやがれ。誰かいんだろ。くそ、どこだここ。なんかのセットか。なんだ今の。おい。なんかやばくねえか。おい。ああ。 夫。
喜べ。貴様らの処刑が決まった。罪状は不法侵入である。よって死刑に処す。
はあ？俺様の城で勝っては許されない。
Oh, well, he's a character.
ただの小そ泥と思ったら、坂本、貴様だったとはな。また逆らうつもりか？貴様ちっとも反省してないな。え？一人じゃどうにもならんと、今度は仲間を引き連れてきたのか？
お前ふざけんなよ。
王に向かってその口の利き方は何だ？貴様、自分の立場が分かってないようだな。我が城に忍び込んだ挙句、王である俺様に悪態をついた罪。死をもって償ってもらうとしよう。処刑だ！
I did always have a question when I was seeing their names. Why is like some of the letters like boxed and like some of the letters aren't?
It's a stylistic choice, but it's supposed to sort of be in the similar vein of like kind of one of those kidnapping letters, where it's like they cut out magazine letters and everything, like we have your son or something.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking, but I guess like it only is like usually 2 or 3 letters, so it's just, it looks a little confusing to me.
It's just a stylistic choice.
Yeah, that's right.
どうした？おじけづいて逃げられないか？取るに足らない小虫が。俺様はこいつの処刑に集中するとしよう。それ！
You got some really good faces.
That was worth an rated M for mature rating, by the way.
さっきまでの威勢はどうした？このゲロ、殴る価値もない。今殺してやる。ん？お前、俺様が誰かわからないのか？腹立たしい目をしよって。抑えてろ。
Is he naked? Like he's wearing
Yep.
a robe, but
He's naked except for he's naked, but he's just wearing like pink underwear, which I think are supposed to be girls' panties or whatever. I mean, I guess people can say that's an for sure rating, but I'm just looking at him like, dude, Yakuza has done worse.
Oh yeah. I'm pretty sure Yakuza is an M-rated.
Yep.
Right?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Yakuza is M-rated. Yeah, see what I mean by illusion of choice? It's just like, no matter what answer I pick, it just goes into this.
Well, yeah, because it's just a cutscene.
Yeah, but could you imagine if I picked that and it actually ended up with him dying?
Game over.
Like, just actual game over right there, and then you just get sent back to the main menu screen. Like...
Or better yet, you have to sit back and you can't skip any of that dialogue to get back.
Right, yep.
Just go through it
Yep.
again. Oh. That's gotta hurt.
I will say, moments like this is like, okay, yeah, this is kind of worth a raid M for sure raid. Now, if the rest of the game had moments like this, I would 100% be behind the rating, but it's just like these again. There's so few in between.
Also because animation is expensive.
That too.
Maybe we'll eventually get that one game where it's just like, it just goes above and beyond all expectation. Oh, Jesus.
What the fuck was that laugh?
Oh my god, he's going Super Saiyan.
Oh my god, he's going nondescript power up.
Ah, yes, his persona. I'm pretty sure that's what it is. Yeah, that just looks great.
Oh yeah, that 100% still does to this day.
Like, that's what I really like about cell shading, just how it can really, really lighten that mood.
Oh yeah.
貴様何者だ我が衛兵よそいつからやってしまえこいつらの真の力
I could knock on this game for a lot of things, but the art direction is not one of them.
There's one of the main reasons I wanted to play the game, just because of that art direction. I don't see a whole lot of games with a really nice, nice, cel-shaded art style.
Yeah.
Like, most games just go way too realistic for me. Like, I don't mind realism, but it's like, okay, now everyone does it, so it just doesn't feel...
Yeah. It's like I think Gabe Newell had a really great quote about the difference between realism and fun. And that being, it's just like, well, yeah, games aren't photorealistic, they're not realising it. It's like, okay, but how is that fun? I mean, when I'm doing my taxes, it's realistic, but it's not fun. It's just like, important thing about game is like to understand what makes a game fun and tap more into that.
Yeah, because even those games at the time, they were as realistic as they could get to that point.
Yeah.
Like, people were looking at Pong, and it's like, damn, this is peak.
やったぜつくしゃこれかよしかかった貴様らなんなんだよ今のそれにお前の格好戻ったうわ貴様ら意味わかんねえとにかく逃げんぞ先に行けほら
Oh wow, you took the keys that the king had for this castle and everything. Maybe we could have used that to open some doors. Now let's just see how far I can throw them.
Where we're going, we don't need keys. We'll break every door down. It is really funny now that I think about it, because it's like, yeah, wow, a locked cell. You know, what really could have been good right now? Keys!
Oh man, maybe this was the way out of here. Oh man, can't get through that. Can't get through that door, it's locked. Ah, gee.
Maybe it would have been cool if it's like they hid other items within the cell.
See what I'm talking about here? Damn it, it won't open. Like, dude, you had the fucking keys.
Maybe they only worked on that one cell, which
That would not make sense. Why would the king have keys to that? Multiple keys just for that one cell.
Well, to be fair, look at the route you would have to take just to get around it. You just had to jump across this entire prison just to make it to that one cell. Oh God. Where do you go?
It has been a while. I got the little details about where exactly do I go.
Honestly, I'm probably going to be in your boat when I go through this. What? Okay. The one unlocked cell, got it.
Yeah, a one-line unlock cell with a tunnel in it. Isn't that convenient? They're right up for... Yeah, we don't need those keys.
Oh, finally, 2 guards. Kind of weird, but alright.
Can you imagine if this door was locked? Oh man, really wish they had those keys.
You walk all the way back down, 5 guards. Ah, crap. Oh, how convenient.
Look, the key's right there. Huh?
Could we use this key for any other cell? No.
They never actually show the key.
The key is in your mind. What if the cell was completely unlocked the entire time?
We all prisoners. We all locked in.
But hey, you just escape and it's like, I don't want to be rude. I thought it was locked. It was locked in my mind.
Just like the Canadian jail situation where it's just like, hey, can we go? Can I go out? Okay, but just be back by go back by sundown. Okay.
Just a very trusting situation.
Rock a hard place.
Wow, that's mean. Shut up or we'll throw you back in there.
No.
so much voice acting.
飛んだ素人め、じっとしてろ。おいお前、戦えるんだろ。やるぞ。来い。
Oh my god.
Antonio Banderas?
That's cool. And I think you can only have like what, 4 people in a team, right?
Yeah. Also, they're holding back and nothing to kill us. Oh damn, I guess we have to really be on our guard. They can kill us at any moment now. Any moment now. Any moment now. You see the problem with it being a goddamn JRPG with stuff like that?
Well, they're just being polite.
Nappa, what are you doing? It's his turn, Vegeta. I have to wait for him. You okay, Vegeta? I'm just having an aneurysm out of your stupidity. Wow. Didn't think you were that stupid, Vegeta. Ah!
I really like that results screen.
Oh yeah.
I mean, most results screens are just like blocks of text. But I mean, it has its own style it goes for.
Yeah. It's usually like victory results screens are just blocks of text or just like a cutscene that transitions into just cutaway art. Yeah, no, that's just like moving graphics and everything.
I guess I only find it appealing because I played so many mobile gacha games.
No, I get it. It's like this game actually got, if I recall, this game got a lot of rewards in regards to its art direction.
And I think this was like, what, their most successful one, right?
Yeah, their most successful one to date. So much so that it sort of like changed a lot of how they went about this game, because this was like a new step in the direction for like everything. Like for example, Persona 3 Reload's pause screen took inspiration from that.
Oh. Found a new party member? Oh wait, no.
Ah, wait, he's not important.
They just move on?
Yep.
Oh. Wow. Sorry, whoever you were. Only if we had keys. Nice. kind of surprised. They kind of sound like the good guys, or like
着いたぞ。
goodish guys.
やっとか。
I mean, they're thieves, but still.
あかね。
The Three Musketeers. We take offense to that.
慌てんな、こっちだ。
待てよおい。
See, if you had the key.
どっから出んだ。窓もねえぞ。
これだから素人は。こんなの基本中の基本だぞ。
Blow the wall up.
その通り。お前やはり筋がいいな。外までちゃんと通じてるぜ。
なるほど。ってことは、あのハマってる網を。せーの。
God dang it.
やべ、敵に聞こえてねえよな。やっとだぜマジ。
喜ぶのは出てからにしておけ。さあ行けよ。
行けよって。お前は。
我が輩はまだやることがあるからな。ここでお別れだ。律儀なやつだな。気をつけていけよ。
Oh no, you just lost one of your allies.
あいつら使えそうだな。我が輩の見立てが確かなら、あのクセっ気の方は特にな。
Wait, what?
俺らどうなった？
ホームに帰還しました。お疲れ様でした。
は？帰還しました？逃げ切れたってことか。もう何が何だかよ。何だったんだよあれ。城とか鴨志田とか妙な猫とか。どうなってんだよ。
でかい声だな。お前ら囚人のせいとかサボりか。
は？違うって。学校行こうとしたら変な城で。
なんだおい、カバン出せ。おかしなもんやってないだろうな。
なんでそうなんだよ。
君は友達か？だったら学校に行きたまえ。彼を連れてね。
だから俺だってわけわかんねえんだって。
囚人の前なら通ってきたよ。おかしなところはなかった。それ以上デタラメを言う気なら学校に連絡するぞ。
お前からもなんか言えよ。いやそうじゃねえだろ。待てよ。マジかこいつ。行きゃいいんだろ。
国交省が辞任表明。これで新島さえ。そういえば彼女。今は泳がせておくか。
マジかよ。同じ道来たはずだろ。どうなってやがんだ。
どうなってんだはこっちのセリフだ。歩道の連絡あったぞ。
あの警官結局作ったんかよ。
お前が一人じゃないとは珍しいな。こんな時間までどこほっつき歩いてた？
城？
まともに答える気ないわけか。
城がどうしたって？
鴨志田。
のんきだな坂本。陸上の朝練やってたこととは大違いだ。
うっせえ、てめえが。
鴨志田先生になんて口聞いてんだ。お前な、もうあとないんだぞ。
向こうが煽ってきたんだろうが。
本当に退学になりたいのか？とにかく事情聞くからな。はい。 はあ、ふざけんな。
私も配慮が足りませんでしたし、ここは両成敗ってことで。
いや、まあ鴨志田先生がおっしゃるならとにかく来なさい。第一国は事実だ。
わかったよ。
ところで例の転校生ってのはお前だな。
I mean, I knew, like, he wasn't really, like, in the castle, but still... Kinda confusing. Or maybe I'm...
Oh, don't worry. It gets worse.
Oh. Well, that's better.
いや違う。駅前で見た顔だ。まあ、今日だけは多めに見てやる。校長から聞いていると思うが、問題を起こしたら退学だからな。冗談のつもりか？面白くないな。まあいい。早く職員室へ行け。川上先生も待ちくたびれてるだろう。新しい学校生活、せいぜい楽しめよ。
Okay, so we go back to the present. Alright.
学校が古城に？喋る猫？まさか過剰投与で幻覚が見えてるの？ふざけてるなら承知しないわよ。話を進めさせてもらうわ。怪盗からの予告状が届いた相手は学校 OB の五輪メダリスト。
So because you say you didn't play this game, simply because they give away everything of what he did. Right then and there.
Oh.
Yeah, so you're welcome.
That's a little bit weird.
Yeah, they were very insistent on going less of the why and more of the how in this, but it's just like the game's trying to give you reasons to go after people, and it just feels like it answers why just in this without really like letting you understand firsthand.
Yeah, it's almost like instead of just like dropping them into before to build up what happened to now, it's just more or less like, well, we need to give them a reason. It's just a
It's one of those things where people say, yeah, you should show, don't tell. This is where I agree. Where it's just like, yeah, you could just leave off on, yeah, this teacher was your target. And then don't even mention much of anything of his actions and then just say, why did you just target him? That leaves it open to, it's just like, okay, so you targeted this teacher, you had a reason for it, but you didn't want to say, so what was it in here? And that's for the player to discover.
There are a few games that do that, like, one that I remember was, like, the Punisher game, on, like, the old Xbox. Like, that had a very similar system where it's like, you were in the now and told you, like, the specific targets you were killing for that level you were playing.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, so we're going from the present to the past. I don't know. It's always a weird concept.
Yeah. Well, it's like Amori is one of the games I think that does the show don't tell aspect really well, because yeah, you learn bits and pieces about the current day and what happened in the past, but it really isn't until the late game where you really start to get the full picture.
Which probably is for the best.
Yeah.
Especially for a mystery game. As I mean, you need a reason to care.
Yeah. I will say this, in the sequel that they made, Strikers, it's handled a lot better because it's not going for, it's present day and we're recollecting everything you did in the past. No, it's like, no, you're going along with everything, so you get to learn about these characters as you go on. That's why I feel like it did it better.
Yeah.
おとなしそうだけど切れたら。だって障害でしょ。その席はね、あそこね、空いてるとこ。悪いんだけど近くの人、今日は教科書見せてあげて。最悪。嘘。見た？知り合いなのかな、あの二人。転校前から手出してたってこと？それ鴨志田先生と二股じゃん。もうさすが高巻さんだよね。つうかあの空間やばいよね。あ、そうだ、あさって球技大会だったんだ。クラス変わったばかりだから親交を深めてね。さーて、じゃあ授業を始めますか。日直起立。どうしたの？はあ、ちょっと君大丈夫？あともう噂になってるみたいだけど、言ったのは私じゃないから。ほんと勘弁してほしいわ。なんで私がこんな目に。寄り道しないでまっすぐ帰りなさい。さくらさん怒ってたわよ。あと坂本くん、あの子とは関わ噂をすれば何の用？今日補導されたんですって。
せえ、なんでもねえよ。
頭も黒くしてこないし。
すんませんっす。屋上で待ってる。
はあ、見たでしょ。関わらないでよ。
なんであんな生徒を編入させたんです？早速坂本とつるんでましたよ。前歴のある生徒と暴力事件の張本人だ。これじゃいくら私が学園に貢献しても意味がないというものですよ。
そうおっしゃらずに、この学園は鴨志田君頼み。あなたはうちの花です。ただ花の裏で地道な積み上げも必要なんですよ。
校長も辛労が絶えませんな。そういうことでしたら結構。これからもご期待には応えてみせますよ。
来たな。悪かったな、呼び出して。どうせ川上に言われてんだろう。俺に関わるなとかさ。
The downside to these games is that they tend to just get lack in the gameplay for long periods of time.
Yeah, but that might be both a blessing in disguise, because the problem with an RPG is, well, if you battle too much, it just gets too annoying and irritating.
Yeah, but I don't know. It's like, I don't know. I feel like there's more you could do outside of just letting it be basically a movie.
I wouldn't even say a movie, because at least movies, like, you get like something.
More
like...
than like a visual novel, basically.
Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah, it's like. I inadvertently, I think this is the problem with like JRPGs in general, is that yeah, there is times where it's just like breaks from fighting, sure, but they replace most of the time the story with just visual novel level cutscenes.
Yeah, and it's like, How many more hours do I got? 100. Okay. Because I mean, the one thing that stopped me from playing Persona 5 was I want to know how long it was gonna take me.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's a very, very long story. I think it's like 1 over 60 or 70 hours to complete the main campaign.
I mean, I've been going along with this just to be polite, but I mean, I've played this story so many times, I can at any point just do, and it doesn't matter. Because I know this story front to back.
Well, I mean, hey, that's good in a way, right?
Yeah. But at the same time, it's like, it seems boring to anybody who hasn't watched, Present Company included. Imagine how it must feel for me having to go through this again after... I have to say, this is probably my 7th time going through this story?
Jesus, man.
That's why I'm like, I'm just kind of waiting for things to pick up.
If you need to, fast forward. I don't want to bore you to death.
I mean, I've just been polite. I will just do this. It makes things go so much more quicker, and it's just...
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to be like saying it's like, no, come on. Like, if I wanted to experience it, I'll just play the story.
Also, it's literally just, I say in the title, it's revisiting Persona 5.
Not replaying Persona 5 for the 7th time.
Basically, to boil it down, yeah, you unlock the demon. We're gonna explain what those do.
Yeah, but hey, when you fast forward it, it's like, yeah, this is how much dialogue you had to have sit through.
Yep.
It's just like, Jesus. I can understand how that's too much.
Like, if this game was, like, new to me, right, I would have no problem going through it. Hell, even in, like, a second time around, I'd no problem going through it. But after so long, it's like my ADHD starts kicking in, and it's just like, can I just...
I don't even think it's that. It's just more or less like, I would say compare it to, like, maybe the best scenes of, like, an anime. Like, we'll just say, like, you've watched maybe Mob Psycho.
Yeah.
Because that's all I can think of right now.
Oh yeah, I've seen it.
You're just waiting for that build-up, and it's like, sometimes you just want to watch those best of moments. Sometimes you just don't want to sit through it all, because it's like, yeah, it's a time investment.
And sometimes I'll find myself where it's just like, I will watch, like, new anime or whatever, and... I'll watch, like, new anime, or it's just like, and it's like just a cliche fantasy series, and it's just like, I'm just skimming through it. It's like, okay, cool, okay, bye.
Oh yeah. Sometimes that's all you can really do, because it's like, it either just didn't interest you, or it's like, you can't watch everything. That's a problem with, like, anything. You can't play everything, you can't watch everything. There's just too much media. All you can do is just consume as much as you can consume. Which is why I'm a bit shocked that you played this game 7 times. 'Cause, I mean, dang. Must have been a long time ago.
Well, this game, I think, like, 2018. It's just like, that's... Hey, Destro. And again, it's just like, that's essentially how my ADD acts. Like, if I'm interested in something, oh, I will be interested in it till the heat death of the universe. But with this, it's just like, again, 7 times. At this point, it's just like, I know, I'm just, can we get on to when I can play the game?
Fair enough, because I'm pretty sure, like, what, Honkai Star Rail, it just, like, immediately gets to the action, really. Like, there's not a whole lot to build up.
Yeah. It doesn't have a skip button for its story, though.
Huh? That just has
Well, it does, but you essentially would have already had to have played through the story.
Oh.
So, yeah, it doesn't have a skip button.
That's weird, because ZZZ also has a skip button.
Both Genshin and Hawkeye Star Rail don't have skip buttons.
I guess it's just the games they wanted to be. They just had to be dialogue heavy the first time round.
Dialogue heavy, action centered games, and one's a turn based strategy game. One's a Breath of the Wild clone.
Seamless. It was just like a seamless cut.
Like, you could tell how much I played this game, because I know, like, these guys' weaknesses from muscle memory.
Yeah, that's fair, man. I feel like I'd be the exact same way if I played the game like several times. Most times, though, I do not play a game several times. The few I do, those are the games I usually keep coming back to, like Borderlands 2.
Yeah. I think for me, that would have to be Journey. Like,
Journey,
I've played Journey, I think, not gonna lie, 13 times.
I mean, it is a beautiful game.
It's a beautiful game, it's all show, don't tell, and it's overall just fun.
Yeah, which is more than understandable.
Don't. Only real games I've played multiple times I know for certain. Insert numerous Mega Man games here.
Yeah, I mean, Mega Man's pretty goddamn good, not gonna lie.
Any specific Mega Man game you really liked?
I mostly prefer the X series.
I've heard a lot of really good.
I would love at some point to see if I could emulate Mega Man Maverick Hunter X. I used to love playing that game as a kid.
That's a good one.
Isn't that like on the collections, like Mega Man?
Maybe.
Maverick Hunter X. That's the PSP like remake of the first Mega Man X. It's not on any of the collections though.
Ah, that sucks.
And trust me, I know. I know.
Yeah, I can understand that. That's always why I get mad at a collection, because I'm like, come on, you call it a collection, just give me everything. That's kind of why I liked the Kingdom Hearts collection that got on Steam, or just like Epic Games before, because it comes with everything, even the PS3 games. I still gotta play through it though. This will take several hundreds of hours.
It's one of the games they have not re-released in the PS1. There was a PS2 collection that came with like 1 through 8. No Maverick Hunter X. But they included the classic Mega Man racing game in there.
Priorities.
And then the more recent Legacy collections, they split them up for some reason. The first part had X1 through 4, and then the second part had X5, X6, X7, X8.
That always sucks.
So you know, two good games.
No.
Can I just say, this game sucks at stealth.
Well, it wasn't really designed for stealth, was it? It's an
It
RPG.
was. They really wanted to implement stealth mechanics, like sneaking around corners and ambushing enemies, which is fine, but it is very, like, when you hide behind a corner, enemies just have tunnel vision. Like, it doesn't matter whether or not you're, like, behind a wall or if they're 2 feet next to you.
What was that noise?
Did I hear something? Must be my imagination.
And because this is OG Persona, the amount of ammo you get is only there until you retreat into the real world.
Oh.
Yeah, they got rid of that in Royal, where it's like after every battle you regenerate ammo.
Do you think that's a good change or a bad change?
I think it made the game a lot more easier. I kind of liked the extra challenge when it came to this, where it was just like, it was a finite resource and I had to be mindful of what I did with it. But JRPGs already by design are turn-based resource management games. I feel like that kind of adds to the gameplay in and of itself.
Because it's all about, like, you know, grinding on those levels and just either being way too overpowered for your next encounter or just being prepared.
正体を見せろ。
Only thing I think I personally just don't hate about JRPGs is sometimes how it's like you're kind of forced to go through all these enemy encounters. You can't just go through like select enemies.
Yeah.
Because I mean, like at this point, you couldn't like get any items or anything beforehand, so you're kind of just left to hopefully survive.
さて。
行くぞ。いいか。
そこか。
That's always cool.
Yeah, it's a cool mechanic, and Persona 3 Reload, it came to the point where Persona 3 Reload basically, it became an incredibly exploitable move. Like, all attacks in Persona 3 Reload are fucking busted.
So like, a remaster, it's like a complete remake.
The remaster, not really. The remastered adds in specific, like, moves and whatnot, and also new skills. Like, they have a DLC Persona where it's just like, Izanagi no Okami. If you register every single Persona available into the registry, its attack and defense goes incredibly through the roof, to the point where every single enemy you are going against, you're one-shotting.
Oh.
Yeah, that was their response to basically making the flu season trick in this game, pretty much nerfing it.
That's always a problem with JRPGs. gotta nerf it, but you can't make it like too hard for the player. Sometimes like you can make it just like way too difficult, but it just scares off a lot of people who want to go into the franchise.
And through real, it was like all attacks and then their own special moves, which ignored ignore immunities and ignore weaknesses and all that. And it's just it just does immense damage to the enemy. It's just like that. It's a cool idea, but it negates any form of difficulty. That's why I continuously bitched about Persona 3 Reload's difficulty. It was just way too fucking easy.
Yeah, I can kind of understand that.
Oh boy, of course, lost battles.
It has to happen in every game.
Could you imagine if it was like Devil May Cry 5, where it's like, oh no, you it's not forced, you can win. I mean, you can.
Oh, it is so difficult.
It's just, the game will just go out of the way to make it fucking difficult.
See, I accidentally thought like, wait, can I win this? And when I won this, I was like, wait, no way, I can actually win.
You can beat Devil May Cry 5 in the first mission.
It's difficult as hell.
Oh yeah, it's like I'm not gonna lie, I had to actually beat the game and come back with Devil Trigger just to actually do it.
Yeah, me too. I had to do it on like the easiest difficulty too, because like that was one of the only ways I could beat it. Cause God, it took so much damage. I should try the normal difficulties.
I have not actually beaten Devil May Cry on the easiest difficulty, mainly because I'm that guy who was just like, nah, I like to take damage. When you give me when you give me a game like Devil May Cry, I want to be able to be hurt because I've got all these weapons, all these combos. I want to be able to wreak havoc.
Well, I only played it on like easy because it's like I was playing it pretty casually.
Yeah, I get that.
But yeah, once I beat the game, I kind of realized, yeah, this is the wrong way I was supposed to play it. And now I challenge myself, but goddamn, yeah.
I'm in that boat. Like, I want to take damage. Well, I don't want to get one shot.
Yeah, because, like, even on those harder difficulties, even normal, they deal so much damage, especially against the bosses. Because if you don't have, like, enough HP stored, you will pretty much die.
Like, how am I supposed to learn about the patterns if I die in one?
Simple, don't get hit.
Then I have to fucking run a mile just to get back to die again.
Or, you know, you could just do the cheap way, which is just use your gun. It will take forever, but hey, we'll get the job done. You do get more points if you do get double damage. I meant if you don't get hit once throughout the entire level. But it is very hard, especially against some of those later enemies. But, you know, we'll just say that, hypothetically, you thought Devil May Cry 5 was easy. Well, don't worry. There's a mod that someone made called Legendary Dark Knights. I tried it because I was curious. And in the first area of the game, it will spawn hundreds, at least 100 enemies at you, that you have to take down all at once. I mean, it was fun because I was just tearing through hundreds of enemies at once. My poor PC was screaming, but hey, it was pretty funny. Except when I got hit, because it's like 14 enemies are attacking you all at once.
So you get hit, that's it. The dog pile starts.
But if you play it with like Virgil or something on Legendary Dark Knights, it's like, oh my god, I am cleaving. You cleave through all of the enemies. But you know, once you get hit, well, rest in peace.
Like Punishing Gray Raven had its own like mode similar to that, where they had a boss where it was just like legitimately a boss where the whole gimmick was you get hit once, you die, and you had to beat them all. Like you just had to beat the boss without getting hit, and it's a total bitch and a half.
Oh my gosh.
Me takes one hit, die. The boss takes 1,000 hits from my ridiculously oversized sword.
In the cutscene, dies from one hit. Flawless logic.
It's just the fucking ending fight for One Punch Man from Season 1, where it's like the villain is just throwing everything he has at him. He just throws that serious move, serious punch.
Jeez. A lot of dialogue.
Yep.
Oh, you completed what, chapter 1?
Just to clarify, has this been vanilla Persona 5?
This is OG Persona 5.
I see.
This is the one with the flu season cheat.
I see.
I found out that if you get like Ryuji's insta-kill ability and then do the flu season cheat, everything becomes insta-killable. It depends on how long they want to milk this.
Because, I mean, like, it's been several years for 5, hasn't it?
It's been almost 10 years.
Jesus.
This came out, again, this came out in 2016.
I think at this point Joker's ready to pass on the torch.
Well, I mean, it's just kind of shocking that they would stick with it for so long. It's like Personas 1 through 4.
Persona 3 took off, and they had like a couple of like side games. Persona 4 really took off, and they were able to get some mileage out of that. Persona 5, though, that is just... It's just been one of the most popular games, and it being introduced with, like, games like Smash has not helped it, like, sink in popularity. Also, I think that was, like, what made this game so big to begin with, was that it was introduced in Smash.
I mean, his neutral stuff is a gun.
Snake, a pistol. Okay.
いやー、さすが鴨志田先生。
よし、もう一本行くぞ。
Look at how supremely punchable his face is.
Yeah, in case you wonder, Desto, I'm listening to this in Japanese because I'm pretty sure I think all of us, at very least, we're like used to the English voices. I'm just like, I want to hear what this sounds like in Japanese. Actually, doesn't sound too bad.
I just see Kamoshida and I'm like, there are very few more punchable faces in that one.
Those animated sequences never get old.
Rated M for mature won't actually show him getting hit by the ball.
But
It's
yet,
too graphic.
on the other hand,
This game has moments that do, I think, qualify it for being rated M for mature, but there's so few in between.
Like, honestly, it just kind of feels like it could.
That fucking train moment doesn't have any deaths. It's like, oh yeah, everybody got hurt. They don't actually say anybody died. And if they do, it's very minimal.
I think just Kamoshida's existence warrants his M rating because of what he is.
I mean, again, yes, it has moments where it's just like, yeah, I do think it makes it clear that, yeah, I do think that it being rated for mature is valid, considering the Palace Wars and everything, but, again, it's not the whole game.
Yeah, language and themes. Some of the personas are a bit sexual.
Yeah, like they have Incubus, a guy with a strap on, like that okay. They have Mara, which is a 20-foot cock and balls.
The dick chariot.
It's not how it looks. It's not how it looks! It's a 20-foot cock and balls, mate! It don't look like nothing else!
It's always so weird seeing it like doubles, like skipping it. 'Cause it almost feels like watching a Netflix series, like at double speed. It's like, listen, I don't got enough time. I just gotta get through it as fast as possible.
And skip. There's the good stuff. Alright, good part's over.
It's just the Pro ZD meme where you skip the dialogue cutscenes, just constantly over and over and over again, and then you get to the one where it's just like big plot event happens. Like, oh, should I care about this?
Well, it could be like one of those Yakuza memes where you're skipping through the cutscenes, and all of a sudden you get something that's like completely off the wall. It's like, what the fuck did I miss?
Or that South Park game meme where it was like, skip cutscene of about to fight a guy, immediately gets taken down by a sign. And then you get noticed by another guy, and then your teammate fights him. Skip the cutscene. He's knocked on the ground.
Out of context is always the best context. I do think it is silly though. Like who actually does like always double time like anime? Because it's like I don't do that only because I feel like you're missing the whole point of just like ingesting a story.
It depends on if the story is invest worthy or if you've actually already seen it.
Oh, I see.
Because like if you can already tell, it's just like, oh, like say it's an isekai series. Oh, kid who's a fairly attractive teenager gets powers and is chosen to be the chosen one or something. And it's just like, it's showing all of the signs of like, I've seen where this is going. You start skimming through it just to see, okay, is there anything here worth of interest? Oh, there is something worth of interest. Alright, I guess I'll just go back and watch this. Or, oh, there's not. Alright, next. I don't know, maybe that's just me.
I mean, I guess it's like, I stay away from isekais only for that reason. 'Cause, like, when I see one, I kind of see them. And I just, I haven't seen like one that really stood out in my mind. I was gonna watch like the Suicide Squad one, but I just hear it's really inconsistent.
I never really had faith in stuff like that, because like I hear Japan does anime and I think like, alright, it's gonna be really popular for the announcement, and then it's just gonna fade into obscurity, like Batman Ninja. Like that was really big when it first was announced, and then people just kind of went, okay.
I mean, yeah, it was.
I mean, it was, but still. There was also those times, like, I think Studio Madhouse did, like, their own renditions of Marvel. And, yeah, I've not heard a lot about that since.
Yeah. But, to be fair, that's sometimes a lot of animes, unless it's, like, super popular, like Jujutsu Kaisen, for example. A lot of them just go under the radar. Like, Trigun Stampede, apparently that has went really under. Like, a lot of people just fucking hated it.
Really? It was actually really good.
I know, but like I heard so many people, including my brother, which was ironic because he never watched the original. He looked at the announcement and he's like, oh, 3D, it looks terrible.
Dude, he's saying that about Studio Orange, the people who make some of the best 3D anime.
鴨志田から電話かかってきたの。 番号を教えろって言われても
It was not bad.
It wasn't. It wasn't bad.
これから鴨志田の部屋に
And then I sent him like,
つまりそういう
I think it was once Wolfwood was
断っ
introduced,
たら私の
and
友達
he said like,
司法
okay,
を
I
レギュラーから
might want
外
to
す
give it a shot.
司法のためだって言
Like,
い
yeah,
聞かせてきた
Like-
because you can't. Don't judge a
こ
book
れ以
by
上は
its
も
cover.
う無理
Yeah, like Isekai series I give more of a shot simply because like every now and then, like yeah, sure you'll find the cliche, but every now and then you get Dead Mount Death Play. It's like a series that actually decide to do something more other than just what has been done. Dead Mount Death Play is really good.
わかんないよねこんな話
I think the only problem is just like it's so oversaturated. There's just so
Yeah.
many shows constantly being released that's like I only have time to watch like maybe a handful of them. Like I watched Ninja Kiwami, I think it was. Or I might be pronouncing it wrong.
I try not to pay too much attention to the other series right now, but I mean like I kind of have more of an inkling for like looking into shows that are just fantasy, like shows that don't actually go for being isekai, just fantasy series. Like one series that's caught my attention right now is Wistoria.
So you're more of a fantasy guy, rather than like always grounded by like reality or romance.
To quote Lelouch from Code Met, my fucking moral compass is a roulette wheel.
Okay, that's fair.
Like sometimes most of the time it'll be fantasy, other times, hey, I'll enjoy a good slice of life romance. Sometimes I'll go for just Nishijo. Sometimes I will go for Psychopaths. Like at this point, it's like, I treat my anime like I treat my hentai tags. Just spin the wheel!
That's fair. Usually just like a one and done, where it's just more or less like, alright, if it's action, I'll probably like go for it.
I'll let this play. Because this is one of those highlights, so to speak. But yeah, basically, that teacher Kamoshida has been quote unquote giving his students special coaching, when in reality it's just physical abuse.
Yep, he's physically abusing his male students and
Sexually assaulting his female students. Yeah, he's that cunt.
there's a supremely punchable face.
おい、あれこら、授業中だぞ。
あれ飛び降りるんじゃ
Oh no.
こら、座ってろ。出ていくな。
I made an edit of this once with this moment, and it's just the bad end theme to Amori.
Oh.
Simply because a bunch of people tried to compare that game and say, hey, looks like Amori is going with the Phantom Thieves, and I'm like, okay, you motherfuckers.
Oh, alright.
Some people like to overgeneralize stuff.
They did it simply because the game, when it was announced for a console release, had its trailer shown on a big TV. That's it. That's it. That is it. That's the major thing. And Omocat and the team were like celebrating it because, hey, Mori's gotten really big and it's coming to consoles and everything. It's just like, oh man, I can't believe the Phantom Thieves are coming to Omori. It's just like, you motherfuckers, I will rain hellfire upon you.
Can't disrespect my boy with that and expect to get away.
I personally, I will say it, Omori is, in terms of what is the more mature JRPG, Omori or Persona 5, it's absolutely Omori.
I mean, that game handles a lot of intense themes.
Yeah, and again, it's like rated M for mature, and it's like, yeah, I can see why. Your way to transition between worlds is having your character stab himself in the gut. Pretty fucked up.
なんか変じゃね今度こそ吐かせてやる
一旦教室に戻るんだ他の生徒もまだ返さないでください
Okay. Yeah, but also that voice, just, I can't take that voice seriously.
I knew that he would have that kind of voice. I knew it. I just knew Principal No Neck would have that kind of voice.
やめてくれよそうだよ
Also, again, Ryuji, Mamoru Miyano, aka the guy from Tokyo Ghoul who got off on sniffing a napkin.
鈴が鴨志田先生の呼び出し受けてたなんだそれ
Hell that.
教官室に俺何回か鴨志田先生に呼ばれてたから俺や鈴井だけじゃない他の部員も先生機嫌が悪いとご指名で殴るんだやっぱ体罰マジだったわけかでも鈴井昨日特にヘマしたとかじゃないのに急に呼び出されてて鴨志田先生すごくイライラしてたからきっといつもよりひどいことまさかあんな野郎
This is one of the few times out of the games where I genuinely feel like, yeah, it genuinely becomes more understandable as to why these characters are doing what they're doing. Whereas with everybody else, it has to sort of become more... It has to become more obvious through traversing the other world.
I mean, but it's kind of starting to come out, so it needs you to get like a reason where it's like, this guy is terrible.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is that, like, a lot of the other characters in the game could benefit from going this route where, like, the idea of them being secretly, like, these despicable people bleeds into their real life, instead of being something that they always hide.
That's true.
なんだと
俺はここに鈴井を呼べって命令されてたんだきっとここで鈴井は
証拠もないことをペラペラと要はレギュラーになれない当てつけだろ
His voice sounds fucking more comical than it is slimy in this.
想像通りだとして何がどうなるんだ
I half expected to have, like, just a Muppet version of himself.
回復は絶望的そんな奴が何を訴えるって
Maybe he's just taking the entire thing
も
as
う
a
回
joke.
復の見込みはないってよ
I mean, that adds to how much of a slimy dick he is.
Imagine he just pulls out a one-liner every single time he's getting insulted.
またそれかよならもう一度正当防衛が必要だな
Oh yeah, he broke his leg. Yep.
なんで止めんだよけどよ
ほほお前が止めるのか驚いたな遠慮しないでやれよあそうかやれないかまあそうだよなここにいる全員退学だ次の理事会で吊るしてやる
Oh my god.
そんなこと簡単に決
Oh,
めら
you
れるわ
stopped
け
him from punching me. You're still being
こん
expelled.
なクズどもの言うことを誰が本気で取り合うか三島一緒に脅迫してきたお前も同罪だからな
Change my mind, and then they start getting the lawn chairs. Just fucking kick the shit out of him like a JoJo's.
被害者面してるけど前歴のことばらしたのお前だろネットに書き込みしたんだよなひどい話だよ
三島
言われて仕方なく
さあもういいだろう退学だ退学お前らの将来俺に奪われて終わりってわけ分かったらとっとと出てけ
Well, that's the thing. The reason why he hasn't been like kicked out for doing all
Yeah.
this shit is because of his prestige.
Yeah, like that's
This
a
guy
big
is-
thing in Japan. He's a volleyball medalist, and the school keeps him on board for merit and prestige. Which is why he's able to do everything he does to his students. Everybody knows, like the teachers, the parents, they know they're not gonna do shit because he's a volleyball medalist.
Yeah, he's an Olympic medalist.
そうかあれか
はあ頭どうかしたか
It's
ク
it's
ズ
just
の
the
言う
way
ことはよくわからんが
Yeah, it's a
they
very
value prestige
処分を待つしかないだろうがな
over a lot of things.
reputation and conformism is very much a case of like a lot of what Japan's culture focuses on.
さっさとあの世界に行って
And
あのクソ野郎をぶっ飛ば
yeah.
さねえと
And this is something I really wish Persona 5 would focus on, because even after this, when Kamashi is defeated, what they don't really focus on is how fucked a lot of these kids are. Because now anytime like they would try to get a job or they go to college, you guys, oh, you went to Shujin. Okay, let's see. Oh, you studied under Kamashita, the confessed sexual assaulter. Yeah, I don't think our facility is going to endorse somebody like that. We're going to have to pass. Like, it sounds fucked up, but that is kind of how, pretty much from what I've seen and heard, how the society kind of operates. It's fucked up, and that's a part of why I like Persona 5 to begin with, because this is a game that absolutely points out that, yeah, this is fucked up. Why isn't anyone actually wanting to change it?
I just felt like you could make an entire game focusing on that. But it's only like a very small part of it.
This game could absolutely focus on it. The problem is, it's just like they want to, but they also want to pull their punches. They want to eat their cake and have it too.
Well, yeah, it's kind of hard to tackle an entire society issue like that.
Especially when it's more in towards a black and white lens. Granted, in this context, yeah, like you're not gonna side with Kamashita, but later on, like the game tries to make it out to be like, oh man, are these guys the bad guys? And it's just like, I mean, in a vacuum, sure, what they're doing could be considered evil because they state that, yeah, if they do this wrong, the people that they're going after can die. But at the same time, you have guys like Hamashita who are more than willing to abuse his students and assault the girls, to the point where one of them tried to commit suicide. The message of whether or not they're good or bad people kind of falls flat in the context of things.
And this is like the first your first like big bad.
Yeah.
Kind of a strong note to go on for this so message. Literally like the scum of the earth.
And that's personally that's kind of what I like Strikers for more, because it actually went down that route of, yeah, these are terrible people, but they're not as terrible on this level. They're people that are they're still fucked up. They're still doing bad things, but they haven't necessarily crossed a line where there's no point of return yet.
I really need to finish through Strikers. I've only beaten like the second jail.
I have kind of held off because I've looked into getting the new game plus. It's a bitch and a half.
You have to do
You gotta beat like all of the different side quests, all the special bosses, and on top of that, beat the Reaper.
Because of course they put the Reaper in the Warrior style spin-off.
Also, I have apparently seen the meta of how the game is played in New Game Plus. It sucks. Because people have figured out an exploit where you can just make enemies dizzy, and then just use Almighty for technicals, and you can just kind of stun lock them. I'm like, this is your idea of difficulty. This is how you want to go about your life.
Like, when you reach a point in the difficulty is that where you have to resort to a broken strategy in order to win, kind of takes away from it.
Yeah.
It's like, either do this broken strategy or you're gonna get mollywopped.
Like, imagine if you had to play a fighting game and the only way you could beat your opponent is not by skill, but just because you memorized one little stupid strategy.
Imagine.
What, you mean most fighting game bosses?
Or imagine playing a fighting game, but in order to beat the game, you just do Eddie Gordo's handstand.
Oh, but it's so good.
No.
So useful.
Or Dragon Ball Xenoverse and then just grabbing enemies.
Well, I mean, hey, every fighting game.
And here they introduced what they came up with in 1 and 2. And then just kind of ditched in 3 and 4. Because in 3 and 4, I think it was Shuffle Time. Which was an actual Shuffle Time.
Yeah, Shuffle.
As opposed to Reload, which was just like, pick a card, any card. Okay, there you go.
Give me some money.
Give me all your money.
I'm robbed.
いや、そういうことなら仕方ない。もうマジ？残念だが急いでるんだ。
It's a pretty good strategy instead of just like, you know, aiming the gun right at them.
何？何が？
I shoot first, ask questions later.
Oh, yeah, you gotta know you mean business. I shot you in the leg this time. Next time I'll aim a little higher.
なんだよ今の？何が起きた？
You can live without a kidney, right? No, you don't.
Only one way.
マジか？
I better make a decision. My hand is shaking.
My heart's beating, my hands are shaking, but I'm still shooting, and I'm still getting headshots. It's like, boom, headshot, boom, headshot, boom, headshot.
You got it.
それ、さっきのシャドウか？まさかお前？
許してやるよ。
I do like this because it actually is a genuine challenge to try and figure this out.
Chance to cripple an enemy. Like,
Yeah.
that is like something I'm actually have to think about.
Yeah.
Interesting.
If they usually like your answer, they'll join you. But if depending on what your response is, they'll retaliate or they'll just give you an item and walk off.
Interesting.
If you know how to do it, you can actually get pretty much multiple reserves in one go.
I mean, yeah, it's just like right or wrong. It's like that's all you can really do with a JRPG, as long as you know the right or wrong conditions of your choice. You can guarantee a win.
Because money.
That'd be a good point. God damn, it's like you couldn't include this in the base game.
Not gonna lie, I liked it better when it was called Pyro Jack.
また新たな仮面を増やしたな、ジョーカー。
Yeah, I played Jack Bros. It was Pyro Jack. Yep, the enemy's moving. Maybe like a cat, I don't know. Wow, you run awfully fast for a person completely clad in knight armor.
You are pretty fast for a fat man! I don't understand why you're so mad. They weren't even hungry. Most of those weren't even meant to be eaten like that!
また新たな仮面を増やしたな、ジョーカー。
よし。おい、これ。
よしよし、行こうぜ。
Yeah, Persona 5 would take me time to beat. It's almost like 4 or 5 days straight. 97 hours projected.
敵は一体蹴散らせ。
Yeah, he's kind of a why not? I used to like love playing RPGs. And I just kind of fell out of it because it takes so fucking long.
Yeah, it does.
That's why I like to play action games. It's just like, skip all that bull crap. I just kind of.
倒したな。んじゃさ、正体を見せろ。
Kind of why I got Gundam Breaker 4.
先制攻撃チャンスだ。行け。
I played a little bit already and it's fun.
ちょっと待て。
You don't really have to be like a fan of Gundam in order to play it. If you like building and customizing like your stuff, you'll like it. And there's like plenty of equipment to like suit your playstyle. Do you want to build a close range beast? Go ahead. You want to be a long range menace? Go ahead. Do you want to be like a short little gremlin mech? You can.
ジョーカ
There, I do like freedom in customization, even if 100% of the options I won't choose.
Yeah.
But if you want something fucking insane customization, there's this game. You gotta get it. It's called the Mass Builder. And when I mean you can customize any aspect of your Gundam, I mean any aspect. Do you want to have a slightly different one than your other one? You can. You can literally do anything. It's kind of insane. There's like 58 pieces of all of your head, body, and side armor that you could just constantly replace. Some guy spent like 10 hours building a mech. Like, it's insane on customization.
Each 10 hours?
10 hours. But to be fair, you can kind of do anything. You can color it any way you want. You can make any patterns. You can put various types of weapons. Kind of customize. It's content.
お前が立ち向かわないで
That's kind of
誰が恨みを晴らしてくれる
here's like
許す気なんて初めからなかったお前の中のもう一人のそう叫ぶ我は何
I still gotta try it out, but there is a demo if you
やっと経営結べる聞こえるよ
This is
Yeah.
分かった。もう我慢
Yeah, right now I'm not sure what kind of build I want in Gundam Breaker 4. So my Gunpla is basically just like an amalgamate.
Yeah, like this is it lets you customize every aspect of this.
Like, I have like twin Gatling guns on both of my Gunpla's arms. Rocket launcher pods on both blades. Wielding twin laser swords. Like, do I want to be a menace at long range, or do I want to freaking like beast mode my way with melee? I don't know yet. You're giving me all these options. Also, hi, Toilet Demon. I mean, I knew Kamoshida was a shitlord, but...
But hey, it was nice chatting with you.
Yeah. Honestly, I'm just gonna bow out after this.
Fair enough.
おい、レディーに対してそれはないだろう。大丈夫か、アンドの。
アンドのっていうか、これ何？生き物？ねえ、ここどこなのよ。
落ち着け。大丈夫だ、心配ない。
落ち着けるわけないでしょ。あれ？私なんでこんな格好してんの？いつの間に。やだ、何この。はあ？何言ってんの？意味わかんない。
こいつは参ったな。すぐに追ってかくる。のんきに説明してる時間はない。仕方ない、一旦引くか。
これからって時に邪魔しやがって。ったくしょうがねえな。ほら肩貸せ。お前そっち頼む。
I just now picture it, it's just like the fucking Corsica cutscene where they just take her out of the castle and she just keeps hitting her head.
どっちがいい？
炭酸じゃない方。
どっちも炭酸だ。
じゃあ。
よし。
I did kind of find it interesting that getting baton pass in the original was actually a bit of a difficulty curve. Like, cause it, unlike in Royal, you didn't just have it. Like, you had to rank up your arcanas.
Yeah. Well, hello NPC. I definitely won't be seeing you.
Nah.
さて帰るか。
おい、ここどこだよ。廃屋。
おい、お前。にゃーにゃーうるさいと思ったら、なんで拾ってきたんだ。そりゃ気の毒だな。うちは飲食店だぞ。動物はねえだろう。けど世話する生き物がいりゃおとなしくしてるかもしれないか。しょうがねえな。ただし開店中は騒がすなよ。店もうろつかせるな。つまみ出すぞ。ほら一切世話はしないからな。
I like the English cast for this game fine. It's interesting to see who they got for in Japanese. Especially for the main characters who are a bunch of teenagers. Like, the main protagonist sounds like he's in his 30s.
That happens a lot in like, Japanese stuff. Main character, 15. So, sounds like they could manhandle a wrestler.
ご主人はお前よりも我が輩を気に入ったようだな。
Look at you, Jotaro.
Just in Duke Nukem voice, I'm 3.
下の牢獄に比べれば天国か。
I'm 3.
お前らいつか聞いたよな。
I'm Dib Membrane. I'm 12 years old.
生まれのことは何も覚えてない。異世界の歪みにやられてなくしちまったんだ。本当そうに決まってる。猫がなんでこんな喋れんだよ。説明つかないだろ。
よし。 やるか。
Yeah, yeah, I think that's gonna be it. Honestly, I mean, I'm trying to think, because I'm trying to think of maybe coming back to this more with revisiting it, but at the same time, it's just like, it's still an RPG where it's just like, it's gonna take a slog of a time to just get through this. Like, I already like, didn't have much of an enjoyable experience with Reload, because at first it was fun, and then it was just work. But
Yeah, that's usually the case with some RPGs.
yeah, and I've already beaten this 7 times, which, despite that, and despite me having the history of beating this on PlayStation, Sony thinks I don't actually own the DLC, so it won't fucking give me it just because I bought it on PS3.
What?
Yeah, like it even gives me, because like in Persona 5 they have this ability where it's like, yeah, you can cross save your game, you can upload one of your save files to a network, and if you want to, like if you're on another platform like PS4, you can transfer it over there. I could if I had all of the DLC I had on PS3. That's fucking great. But I mean, aside from that bullshit, I mean, it's just gonna be me playing through the story for like the 8th time now, and it's just like, I really want to go through all of that. And it's not even like Devil May Cry, where we were going through like the same game with all of like the behind the scenes cutscenes and everything. And it's just the same game. The only difference is there's Japanese voices. I don't really know if I want to put myself through that for an entire playthrough. I don't think it's worth it.
Yeah, I see where you're getting at.
Yeah. If nothing, I would probably be more interested, if nothing else, to check out like other Persona games. Like, I'd actually, if nothing else, I would love to make a full-on like Persona 1 playthrough. I know that game's a full-on dungeon crawler, but it's at least different.
Yeah, some people look back on the first Persona, I was like, and see how fucking different it was.
Yeah.
Like, don't even look like the same game.
Yeah.
Like, how we go from this to what we have now.
Not to mention the just every 2 steps, living through my eyes, lived in embedded memories. Yeah, that game. Yeah, I remember playing a little bit of it, and it was just like every 5 steps or so, just coming across enemies and everything. I don't know, but I'd be more interested to check that out. But other than that, I mean, yeah, I think I'm just gonna call it. Overall, honestly, my thoughts have been pretty much the same as they always are. Persona 5, good game, has its flaws, most notably for being a mature-rated game and holding back on a lot of things it could absolutely just tap into for being mature. And there's a number of other things where it's just like I do have issues with, but that's it. I mean, I still like it. I still find it a good game. It's just not necessarily my favorite out of all of them.
Yeah.
No idea. I'm gonna get out of here.
Alrighty. Talk to you later.
Yep, see ya. Alright, before I leave... I do have, one more thing to say. Due to some events on my end that have come up, I unfortunately cannot do the collab on Wednesday. Some things have happened, and just like I can't do it. So I'm going to have to figure something out. I'm talking to the people I'm collabing with, and yeah, it's just we're figuring something out. But either way, I'll keep you guys updated in terms of when it might happen next. Yeah, it just sort of kind of came out of the loop, but at the same time, it just sort of came out of last minute or something. But at the same time, it's just like it happens. Anyway, I'm gonna get out of here. Feel free to subscribe to this channel. Check me out on twitch.tv/cafeautumn, Cara, Artstation, all that good stuff. Support me on Ko-Fi.com if you really want to. I'm gonna get out of here. Take care.
Okay, busy, my head is spinning, feel dizzy, like ring around. Ain't feeling rosy, wanna see the homies, but I'm leaving home and never stick around. Always on the move, bags packed, grab snacks, fast track, lift off. But I crash fast, gas tanks, ran past that last strip drop. Like, woo, need a day to just catch my breath. Feeling drained, I wanna get some rest. Sleep too long on these few times, but each new dawn I miss my bed. Serious about commas, but a period's what I want. Really missing the comma, full freedom, missing all qualms, yeah. What? As it turns out, I'm getting burnt out. Yeah. Not sure that this route will really work out. It's getting to my head. A recess to reassess, a furlough to lay low. Some respite to get by so the workload won't take hold. No, I don't wanna take calls, no. I just need a day off. I can feel it changing as the days go by. My melodies are fading, they're running from my mind. Inspiration will come and go, but once you burn, it's so hard to grow. So keep waiting, there's just a little time for me. Red light, green light, what my days all feel like, yeah. Headlights beaming, they like keeping great, but they don't realize that I need a break. I need a moment to step on the brakes, cause I'm on the brink and I'm gonna break. All that I want is a little vacation. I believe it's time for me to find some peace of mind and redefine my dreams in life. And I'll be just fine to see some time to breathe and try to ease up. I'll be free and fly, yo. Frequent flyer, racking the miles and I be so tired. Need some fire, been liking a smile, need to be inspired.